Hello, welcome to another episode of Garden to Table with Rose, and I am Rose. So I am outside early in the morning on Labor Day, beginning of September. Happy Labor Day to everyone. Hopefully you all have the day off work. But I thought I'd do my beginning of September garden tour. A lot of things are going out of bloom now. The season is winding down here in Zone 6A. But there's some things that are looking fantastic, like the clematis climbing up the arbor. So nothing much has changed over here. I am planning to, when I plant bulbs and stuff in the fall, when they come in, I'm planning to empty out this raised bed here and remove it from the porch and take it to the backyard, and then I can move my chair over there. There's just no sun over here. There's an overhang. The porch is covered, and so no sun gets in there and nothing really thrives in there. So I'm going to put that in the back where it can get full sun and grow some things in there next year. Over here on this side, I have taken out all of the yarrow I had. I think it was called pearl yarrow, but there were several sections of it everywhere where you see open spaces now. So I removed that, and it's a perennial. I did put some in the window boxes, so hopefully it takes, but those window boxes, as you know, have been a challenge for me. But the reason why I removed it is because I'm planning to plant all feverfew in these open spots. So feverfew tends to be an annual for the most part here, I believe. And I do have one or two little plants that I planted over here that are blooming now, so you can get a look at it. But I like to use it in cut flower arrangements. And it's just a little white dainty flower. I think there are two different varieties that I know of or that I've purchased. I did leave one patch of the yarrow here just because it's pretty. And I wanted it's a little touch of it. It does tend to spread easily, so I'm sure that little patch will grow quickly. So yeah, the feverfew I'm going to put here. That way I'll have a lot of it, and I will use it for my cut flower arrangements. And so I will then continue to plant successions of it here. And this is supposed to be kind of my moon garden, so I'm trying to keep it all white and greens. My hydrangea has bounced back that I relocated from over by the little fence section to here. It's looking good. It has a few blooms. As you can see, the blooms on this Sublime, Invisible Sublime, is the blooms are a dark green, if you can see that. And they're rounded but kind of flat at the bottom. They're kind of like a half of a dome. Or dome shape, and so I really like that color. But yeah, so I moved that and it seems to be doing okay. The elephant ears are actually getting bigger, I guess because they have a little bit more room now that I moved it. But those don't have much time left and they have to be dug out. What else? That's all that's going on over here, I believe. Yeah, I've trimmed back some things. Oh, rosemary is looking beautiful. The rosemary's up here. I think I have 3 up here, but they're getting pretty large. Like I said, I'm gonna have to dig those out and take them inside for the winter. But rosemary smells wonderful. I love cooking with it, and it's a nice shrub. I really like it. I did trim this back, this 9 bark, just because I'm trying to get it to, get bushier. It really only has a few stems, and they were really tall, so I'm hoping it'll bush out since I trimmed it. I did move this sedum. That was hidden over behind the astilbe, so I moved it up here because it's pretty short and it's full sun kind of plant. So that is there, along with another form of sedum. And then the lamb's ear that I divided up seems to be bouncing back, thank goodness. I was thinking I might lose it and have to buy new ones. So yeah, the lamb's ear is bouncing back, so that's good because I did not want to have to buy new after I divided it. All right, and then this allium has bloomed. I'm not sure if this is actual chives or if it was an allium that I planted, but it has pretty little white blooms. I do like alliums and chives. If you leave them to bloom, they definitely make a good garden plant. And then the roses, I've pretty much taken them all down. Some I've pushed out new buds since I did that, like this one, this yellow one here. That's the Henry Fonda. The leaves are starting to get some spots on them, like they have some of them, like they have some kind of fungal or bacterial thing going on. But hopefully they will be okay as it is getting colder. This one I cut down and it's flushed itself back out again. This is Mr. Lincoln. The hydrangeas are getting bigger. That's the Pinky Winky over there. And then I got the Gatsby Star and the Gatsby Moon over here. I believe that one. I believe this one is the Gatsby Star here. But look at those blooms. Pretty. Very pretty. And I don't think the Gatsby Moon... Oh, it has one bloom on it. It has one old bloom now, but that's all it has. This one, it's large. It's pretty big, but it only has one. But it is getting fuller, and the wheat whites are gone over. As you can see, they're turning brown now. And this little one is still chugging along, but much smaller than the other two. Although I planted them at the same time. Most of the Lysianthus I have cut. There's a few left, as you can see. Man, I love this flower. This is like my second favorite cut flower. Hydrangeas are probably my favorite, but this, look at it. And it comes in so many different colors. And they last a long time in the vase as a cut flower. Yeah, last quite a bit of time. So I'll be growing those again for sure. Let's see what else is over here. What else is over here? That little yellow rose over there has started to bloom. And that one, I think it's called Sun Sprite. That's a really cheap one I got at the big box store for like $5 or $7 or something. But, and I just planted it not too long ago. It is blooming. And then, let's see, what else I got over here? This is a hydrangea here. Punch Little Lime. It hasn't bloomed yet, but it is getting much bigger since I moved some of the stuff out of here. I think it has more room to grow. And then this weeping redbud, lavender twist. It is getting much bigger. I just planted that this season. I did break up the astilbe, and some of it's looking sad, like this over here. This is the pink astilbe. But then a couple of others over here are looking lush and green, so hopefully all is not lost. This, I think I misspoke and called this phlox last time. It is not phlox. I cannot remember what it is. Maybe I'll put the name on the screen. But it is not phlox. It's some kind of creeping annual. And for whatever reason, every time I come out here, I forget the name. All right, this is my snowball viburnum. It's getting huge. And that over there is the little quick fire hydrangea, which has beautiful, airy, open blooms. If you can see that. I like that one. That's unique. This row is where I planted all my mums or chrysanthemums, the cutting ones. As you can see, some are really tall. This one here is at least 3 feet tall, this one, and some have remained short, but I have cut off of these. I don't know how long they last. I just cut some recently the other day, so we'll see how long they last in the vase, but they are beautiful. The colors, this is like a dusty rose, the yellows, and then whites. I mean, they're beautiful. Now, I don't know if they'll return. The website that I ordered them from said they were hardy. It's a zone 5, and I'm in zone 6, so they should, but I don't know. From what I've read, they can be difficult to get to return. But anyway, I want to use them for cut flowers for the most part, so I have been cutting just to promote more stems and more buds. And So far so good. I did prune all the trees back again. You know, there were little strange branches sticking out everywhere, so I did end up trimming those. But look at this. That's all I can say. This is the Sweet Autumn Clematis, and it is in bloom. One side's blooming quicker than the other, but it is in full bloom, and it is gorgeous. It made it all the way almost to the top of this trellis in this one season, because I cut it all the way back at the end of the season. But look at this. Look at these little dainty flowers. And I have some trailing over to the sides of these little fence sections. And it trails on that side too. And there's a big bee. The pollinators obviously like it. The two oak leaf hydrangeas here seem to be doing well. Only one ever put on a bloom. This one, which is faded out now. I guess they're getting their fall color too. So those are supposed to get pretty tall. So hopefully, hopefully I didn't put them too close to that fence. But anyway, they're starting to turn a little bit golden. So I guess they're kind of going into their fall mode soon. The Rose Creek Abelia. There are two of these. There's one on the other side, but it has these beautiful little white flowers. And I don't know if that one turns, if the leaves on that one turns for the fall. I can't remember. But I definitely had to trim this apricot and nectarcot tree again, because this thing grows like gangbusters. I have trimmed this thing so many times over this season, but you know, with most of my trees, if I can, I try to keep this vase shape or goblet shape where the center is open for air circulation and things like that. So that Baptisia is gone wild. It was two plants and now it's like a huge mass. I do like it though. It's very pretty, but it can hide other things that are behind it. Can't really see from the street because it's so big. This has multiplied here. This white salvia. That was a very small, maybe a little 1 gallon pot, and now it's at least 3 feet wide across. So that's nice. The Drops of Jupiter, I think, oregano, decorative oregano, very pretty, blooms pink, and then it has these chartreuse colored leaves. And then, wow, look at this cherry blossom tree, Quanzon cherry blossom. It is tall. This thing is much taller than me. I'm not sure how tall, but this one I said I would let grow as tall as it wants to get, because it's not really bothering anything here, and it gives me a little privacy to my house. When I look out, I don't have to see other houses. I want to be able to see garden plants. So it is doing well. These two are persimmon trees, and I of course keep all my fruit trees pretty short so that I can actually harvest the fruit. The elephant ears over here are pretty large. You see in there. One of my favorite types of hydrangea is this moon rock. Look how big this panicle is compared to my hand. I mean, it's bigger than my head. And there are two of them there. They're all over it though, but these branches have been kind of weighed down. But yeah, that is a beautiful. And this rose, which has performed so well for the first, I just planted this thing, but look at those. The blooms are huge. They're this beautiful apricot color. I mean, those are beautiful. And then that's the At Last rose by Proven Winners over there. And it's pretty too. It's a nice peachy color, but it's not as pretty as this one, which I'm not sure of the variety. Unfortunately, we missed the one bloom on this clematis I have. It's spent now, but it's big. It's a big bloom, and it's white with green margins around the leaves. Beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that really filling in next year and just covering that little arbor. There's another rose there that I've cut down. I can't remember what color the blooms were. They probably were a pale pink or a peach. I think this is the bluebeard here, and it's looking good. I finally was able to pick my peaches off of this particular peach tree, and they were delicious. I shouldn't say were. I still have a bowl of them in the fridge, so I think I'm going to make some kind of peach pie or something. But yeah, very happy with those. No bug damage, unlike my Saturn peaches over there. Probably 40% of those had bug damage, had holes in them, so I had to throw them out. But this one sustained no bug damage, and it's interesting because I use the same spraying system, so obviously this is just a more resistant cultivar, and they taste better than Saturn peaches. My Rose of Sharon tree is just about done blooming. Yeah. And then here's another one of the roses. And these blooms are kind of spent, but look at that. It's like a dusty rose. Very pretty. And then there are different shades. This one is a little bit, you probably can't tell in the video, but this one's a little bit deeper of a dusty rose and kind of more purplish. But yeah. And then I have two of the smaller, I think it's the Garnetta, and I can't remember the other name, but two of the smaller hydrangeas here. I think I had those in the front and they were getting too much sun, so I moved them. And then like I said before, I have a bunch of little shrubs over here that I was hoping to be able to use in my cut flower arrangements. So I can't tell you the names of all of them. There's nine bark over here. There's sweet spires, a couple of those. Dogwood is over here. Here's one of the nine barks. This might be called the Little Devil. I'm not sure. I think. But oh, that one's beautiful. I do like it. The branches are very good in cut flower arrangements for foliage, and so that's why I have them. These are done. This one's done, but just to see the color, it's a beautiful soft pink. But that's a beautiful rose too. Let me pull that one off. And then the coral bells did bounce back. The lighter colored ones that I had to move over here because they were getting too much sun. And the hostas, I moved all those over here, so they all seem to be bouncing back, so I'm really happy about that. There's another one. These are being nibbled on by bugs or something, these tiny ones. We'll see if they come back next year. Forsythia is doing well. I cut that and use that as well in flower arrangements. And then, let's see what else is over here. I got euphorbias, several of those. I do love euphorbia, and when it blooms, it's these little yellow flowers at the top. Very pretty. A chartreuse, they're kind of yellow green. And then this is the Zoro hydrangea. It looks like it's getting bigger. It's getting some new growth, but it hasn't given me any more blooms or anything. And then this is another peach tree here. Not sure of the variety, but that one has been damaged multiple times, and it's looking good now though. Here's lady's mantle in there. Let me go up this way. Lots of little ferns in here that I planted, bulbs or bare roots, I should say. But I have them tucked in so they can be in the shade, which is what they like. The sky pencil holly. They're getting some height on them. I have two of those. There's a fern next to it. Those, I was gonna let them get as tall as they want because they're so narrow, and it gives them height. But I was looking at another YouTuber, and they talked about those splitting if they get too tall. So I probably will then try to keep that 6 to 8 feet. I won't let it get any taller than that because I don't want them to split. That would be not good. There's more of the lambs here that I divided. That seems to be bouncing back. This, I am not sure what this is. It is not a hydrangea. I do know that. And I think it might be, I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's a flowering shrub. And I think that might be a pink variety. I planted that probably not even this season, the season before, and it never did anything. So I actually thought it was dead, and now it's kind of growing. So good. Maybe next year it'll bloom. Lots of barberries in here. They tend to change color when fall comes around. I planted some of that pink. It still be in here, which is looking sad. So I don't know if that's gonna survive. Tiny wine gold, 9 bark there. And then here's another one of the oak leaf hydrangeas. Look at those blooms. These are the ruby slippers, I think. I have 2 of these. And this is an old bloom. It's like it's like a copper, like a dark brown copper. Almost looks burgundy, like it has a burgundy tinge to it. It's very pretty. So once those mature, it's going to be quite a sight. And with it being an oak leaf, I'm sure the leaves will turn in the fall too. And yeah, ruby slippers. So this is only the second season those have been in, so they're pretty small still. The coneflower has taken off. It's pretty tall there. I have two of them, but this one's extra tall. I do like coneflower, especially the white ones. They come in all colors now, which is nice. But there's the other one. And then there's another little patch of lambs here. There's another little patch. I tried to spread it all around and kind of break up this green with this bluish white kind of color. Look at these elephant ears. Whoa. They are beautiful. Now, so a couple of the leaves are torn because the wind just rips through and can tend to tear them. But they are beautiful. Now, I probably won't put these back here next year because this other stuff is filling in and getting bigger, all these hydrangeas, and there just won't be room, I don't think. So I have to find a different spot. I'm not sure where, but I do love those. And I do plan to replant them next year. Hydrangeas. Oh, my pufferfish. There are two of those over here. There are a couple of another variety over in there. And it might be an Annabelle. Not an Annabelle. This is the Annabelle here. So I'm not sure. That might be another PG or tree hydrangea. Or it could be a moon rock in there. But these two are pufferfish, definitely. The blooms have gotten so much bigger now. And you see the little tuft at the top? That's how I tell these from the others. Because none of the others have that. It's very unique. But it forms like a little tuft that's smaller than the bloom head at the top. So yeah, I like it. It's unique. And then I have two variegated hydrangeas in there, but they have yet to flower. They are getting bigger though. The leaves are variegated, so I'm looking forward to those next season. This Artemisia has gotten huge. I started with 3 little bitty starts of that, and it's gotten huge. This is the cotton candy maple. It's doing well. My other little maple is still green, but it's very tiny. So I've opened up this space so it can get more sun. So hopefully it takes off. I did cut back all the crocosmia because they bloomed out a long time ago, and the fronds were turning brown, the leaves. And then they were hiding all of these hydrangeas, but now you can see them. Let me try to step back a little. I'm sorry, I'm getting shadows here, even though it's early in the morning. The sun is coming out quickly. But now you can see all the hydrangeas, which is lovely, and I can see them from inside the house. I mean, they're just beautiful. Oh, love it. Love it, love it. And then this little paprika, oh so easy rose, is trying to bloom again. It's hidden by the Artemisia over there, and I got more lambs here that I put here. And this is the mint julep rose. I have 2 of these, and I just planted it a couple of months ago. So I'm surprised it's blooming. But the blooms, I don't know if you can tell from the video, but they are actually kind of a light lime green on the outside, and then it goes pink in the center. So I just thought that was so unique. I've never seen a rose with a green flower on it before. This is one of the other rosemary. Look how big that is. That thing is wide. It is probably 2.5 feet wide, about 3 feet tall. So yeah, rosemary, clearly this one's bigger than the others, and I planted them all at the same time. So that tells me the rosemary probably likes full sun and maybe a little dry, because this front border doesn't get watered anywhere near as the other beds do, because I have no drip hoses going there, so I have to water that by hand, and the other beds have drip hoses. And so I do use the sprinkler sometimes as well. I haven't used it in a long time because we were getting quite a bit of rain, and then we went through a dry spell, but so I haven't really set up the sprinkler now that things have filled in, because I don't want any issues with mildew or anything. When the season first started, I was using a sprinkler quite a bit. All of the salvias and everything that I transplanted are doing great. Look at that. Or blue. I had salvias and Russian sage. and the pollinators love it. They're always all over this one in particular. There's a huge fly there. I don't know if he's asleep. They will often go to sleep on the blooms. The pollinators also love this butterfly bush. I've had to trim it back, but the bees and the butterflies, the monarch butterflies, oh man, they were all over this thing all season. And these are my little lime hydrangeas, which are flailing down. Hopefully the stems get stronger as the years go on. This is year 2, but they are full of blooms. I'll give them that. Beautiful, beautiful blooms. They started out green, like a lime green, and now they've turned to pink, a pinkish color, like our dusty rose. Really like those quite a bit. And then we're back over here. It's more of the same from the other side. The only other thing, yeah, I have 2 of these as well. These beautyberry bushes. So right now they have these little white buds on them, which is supposed to turn into the berries, and the berries are supposed to be kind of a purple. So I have 2 of those, and also the leaves are a very dark green. 2 of those. So I'm looking forward to seeing the berries on those, because I just planted those this season. And stand back here. That's the arbor from the inside. Oh, beautiful. That clematis, man. Yeah. It's been a great gardening season. It's exceeded my expectations for sure. This is my second full season of doing any kind of landscape gardening or any kind of flowers or anything like that. And most of what's here was done, well, everything that's up here was done in the last 2 years. Yeah, so it's doing well. This is a red twig dogwood here. My fruit trees over on the other side are doing well now that I've wrapped them the chicken wire. So they're all growing and getting more leaves. So hopefully I'll have some fruit soon, maybe next season. I put more of the chrysanthemums here. Look at this peach one. Oh my. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. Oh man, that's beautiful. I love those things. That's getting into my top 5 there. These chrysanthemums, I just love the way they look. They remind me of dahlias, but they seem easier because I don't have to dig them up at the end of the season and store them and all that stuff. So what remains to be seen is how long they'll last in the vase. Here I have my my Limelight Prime hydrangeas. So I got like 5 of these, and then I got the Green Mountain boxwoods, which are supposed to not get bigger than 5 to 6 feet, and they're more of a pyramid shape. And so those are gonna make up my border on the other side of the driveway that I talked about in the last video. And then I do also have another viburnum that I'm going to include in that section as well. It's looking sad over here in this pot. I had it sitting out with the hydrangeas, and it was getting a lot of sun, and it didn't seem to like that. So I moved it over here where it's a little bit more protected, and I've given it a dose of fertilizer because it's looking very sad. And I'm going to give it another dose probably today, but hopefully that one will be okay, because that's going to be like the centerpiece of my little border over there. The Senum is still doing well in here. I did transplant, like I said, that yarrow over here, and then I cut it all back. So we'll have to see if it comes back. It's looking sad now, but most things I transplant look sad for a while, and then then they make a miraculous recovery. This is getting bigger. Love it. This is that PG tree hydrangea, and it has one heavy bloom on it. You can see that. It's huge. But yeah, that's gonna be like the centerpiece here in front of the 2 windows, right in the middle. So that's gonna be beautiful when it's big and full and lush. And that is all I got going on. I got all my little topiary shrubs in my pots here. Like I said, I'll huddle those all together. I was going to move them to the side of the house, but I think I may just huddle them on this side, because I got, maybe 3 or 4 more. but I think I can squeeze them in here. So they are protected, at least from the house side. And these bigger shrubs will give them a little added insulation. But those pots are really heavy, so I don't I don't want to move them too far from the spot where they're going to be. So yeah, I got to find a spot up here to place them in. Even over here probably would work because there's a lot of the apple trees and stuff here. And the fence will protect it a little bit from the wind. But yeah, I'm going to huddle them all somewhere when it gets cold. And then these have to go in. My little lavender tree and my cypress. Yeah, those are going to go inside. So that is it for this month's garden tour. I don't know if I'll do another one in September, maybe, if there's some significant change. But yeah, that is what's going on. So still looking beautiful. Still love it. And thank you for joining me again for another garden tour. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.